All right. Hello, hello. Good morning. Let me get to my page here to make sure I am broadcasting. And then, okay, that's awesome. Let me shut this down. So that's working. All right, great. All right, let me. All right, there we go. Hello, hello. What's going on? What is going on? Let me give you a few moments to get on. And while you're getting on this broadcast, I'm going to be sharing this out to a few of my favorite spots. Actually having a little bit of tea this morning. All right. Let me get this out to a few of my favorite places. And then we will get going. When you pop on, let me know who you are and where you're from. And also, if you are watching this on the recording, thank you very much watching and listening. I appreciate you. If you are watching this on Facebook Live, make sure to hashtag replay so that I know you are here. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hashtag replay as well. And if you are listening to this recording on audio, thank you so very much. Let me know that you were here too. All right. So we're doing a lot of stuff today. All right. Let me get to where I can see the comments here. Awesome, awesome. Welcome, 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 everyone. Come on in, come on in. Goodness. Okay. So first, I want to welcome you to the show. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game by helping you keep more of the money you make and paying less to Uncle Sam in taxes. And today, I am answering questions about how much to set aside for taxes. I am here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about tax topics that are important to the home business community. Okay, so let's talk about these taxes. All right, because it's about to get real out here in these tax streets, okay? All right, so let's talk about 1099 income. Because I do believe there is some confusion about when you owe taxes, when you got to pay, how much you got to pay, and all of this. All right, so I'm going to be talking about just a few things, not just answering this particular question, but giving you a whole overview of what you need to be doing. All right. So the first thing is, you know, people are like, what are the income limits? Okay. First of all, you're supposed to report all of your income. The thing where people get confused is that any income over $400, then you owe self-employment tax. Okay. Now, when it comes down to 1099 income, if you earn over $600 from a third party pay, you should get a 1099, which means if you earn money from an affiliate marketing company, if you have a network marketing company where you earn income, anything online, then you should receive a 1099 once you reach $600 in income. All right. Now, then the question becomes, okay, well, how much do I set aside? As a general rule of thumb, I say 30%, because you want to make sure that your complete tax liability is covered, because you do have some income earners who are higher wage, you know, in the six-figure range. If you're in the six-figure range and you're starting an affiliate marketing on the side or starting something online, your own thing or what have you, you might actually need to withhold more, and you definitely need to check your structure. Because if you have a sole proprietorship, any profit that you make is only going to bump your income up, and that's going to increase your tax liability from what it was before. Okay, so Don't just say, okay, I'm just going to go make this money, right? You really need to take a whole bunch of things into consideration. What your current income level is. Like I said, if you're in a 6-figure range, you're 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to owe. If you are single and you have no deductions and you have a 6-figure income, you are going to owe the IRS most likely. Okay. So if you start and a side hustle online and you make a profit from that, that's only going to increase your income, your taxable income. Okay. So that's why I'm saying it's not just, okay, let's go all willy nilly. Let's go start us something on the side, make all this money, right? This is why you need to talk to people before you go off and making another set of 6 figures somewhere else. All these 6 figures is cute until you got to write that check to the Uncle Sam. Okay. And so that's why we are here, to help you really minimize your tax liability. Okay. We want to make sure that, yeah, you got to pay taxes, but you're not paying more than what you have to. So initially, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining the Home Biz Tax Lady. So initially, you want to set aside 30% in your income. Okay. But here's something else that you want to do to take this a step further. You need to look at your last year's income taxes. Look at what your total tax liability was for the year. Okay. And so regardless of whether you got a refund or you had to owe, you need to know what your tax liability is. It's on different lines, but if you find a line that says total tax, that's what you need to do. Now, then you need to look at if you're still working, look at your W-2 to see if you have paid that amount, if you have had that amount withdrawn from your check. All right. If you've had that amount withdrawn from your check, then 9 times out of 10, you're in good standing and you still have this 30% that you have over here in your tax account. Now, in the event that you have not set aside that much in taxes, that means that you need to get to work. If you're still working, you can adjust your W-4 to have additional withholdings taken out so that you meet your tax liability and you don't owe. All right. And then if you have this business income, you set aside money for your tax account. Now, if you don't have any other separate account, you must have a tax account, because you want to be able to write a check for your tax liability. And unfortunately, a lot of home business owners do not do this. And then come tax time, they have a tax liability that they are not prepared to pay. Now, the other thing I recommend is for you to file your taxes early. Yes, early. Because if you have a tax liability, even though you file, you still have until April 15th to pay. So even if you file your taxes in February, you don't have to have a check postmarked until April 15th. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of time. So if you don't have the amount that you owe, let's say you set aside that 30% and you still don't have enough by some stretch of the imagination, then you've got some time to hustle up, okay, and make some more money so you can pay this tax liability, okay? That's what's important. Now, the other question that people have is about estimated taxes, like, how do I know if I'm going to have estimated tax payments? If you are a sole proprietor or a single member LLC or an S corporation, then if your tax liability is $1,000 or more that you owe, then you will have estimated tax payments. And yes, you will know for sure if you have estimated tax payments. The IRS will let you know, okay? Now, if you have a C corporation, it's $500 or more where you will have estimated tax payments. That means that you will have to pay taxes 4 times a year. This is where to come around to bite you, because the first quarter estimated tax payment is due April 15th. So if you have estimated tax payments for the upcoming year, then you may have an additional payment due on April 15th, in addition to your current tax liability. Okay. So this is why you need to make sure you plan for taxes, because otherwise you can find yourself in a world of hurt, and owing the government is just not cute. Okay, even if, and here's the other thing that most people don't recognize as well, is that even if you have estimated tax payments and let's say you are due a refund for the next year, you will still incur a penalty if you don't pay your estimated tax bill on time. So you still have to pay your estimated tax bill and then file for your refund. Okay, but yeah, that's it. So as a rule of thumb, set aside 30% of your income for taxes. Review your prior year tax liability to make sure that you have that amount of money set aside, or at least 90% of that money set aside so that you can just write a check. If you have a tax liability that you owe that's over $1,000, then you will have estimated tax payments. And it doesn't matter if you have an estimated tax liability of $1,000 and you write that $1,000 check, that's great, but you're still going to have estimated tax payments. And yeah, and you got to make those estimated tax payments or you will incur penalties and interest. Okay. So let me look and see if there are any questions. I don't see any questions, but yeah, file your taxes early, guys. Don't wait until April 15th to file your taxes and then find out that number one, you have a tax liability, and then number two, you're on estimated taxes and you have more money that you need to pay. Don't wait. Okay. File early, find out what the damage is, right? Find out what the damage is and then be prepared to pay that. And the great thing is that if you set aside money in your tax account and then you wind up not owing that much, then you have money that you can either pay yourself or reinvest in your business. Okay. And, I advise you to definitely reach out to a tax professional, CPA, to make sure you're on the right track, you guys. Invest the money to have, the consult and, invest that money, because it's easier for you to work out $200 for a tax consult than to work out $4,000 to get you out of some sort of tax debt issue. Okay. So this is, pay a little bit early instead of paying a lot more later is all I'm saying. Okay. So thank you so much. Yes. Find out the damage early. Hey, listen, this is what I do. Okay. I'm not telling you something I don't do. I file my taxes in February, but if I wind up owing for that year, I find out in February and I write the check in April. That's what I do. Okay, so that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to my live notifications if you're watching me on Facebook, and subscribe everywhere else so you don't miss anything. All right, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.